Welcome to Psychic Holistic Spotlight. I'm your host, Josie Wade, and together with me today, we have, I have a scratchy throat. We have Bill Hannon and Kathy Medeiros co-hosting, and our lovely guest is Crystal Birch. And like her name, she does work with crystals and healing work and soul work and a little shamanic work tucked in there. And they're all woven together to heal. And when did you first notice this? I'm thinking you've had this going on since you were born.
Yes. Since I was very young, I've always been very sensitive to energy and always able to kind of read energy, which caused a lot of confusion as a young child, because people would say something, but the energy was different. And so from a very young age. But I've also had a lot of very fiery initiations throughout my life. And one of them being a car accident in 2012, where I was divinely basically saved from that. I was pulled from the window. The car flipped about 4 times, and I shouldn't be here talking to you, but I am. So many experiences like that throughout my life where just angelic presence showing up just to guide me. So I've always been in tune with the energy, for sure.
Yeah. The energy will take you to places you never dreamed you would go.
Yes, and deep understanding of all there is to know about this world we live in, and multiple dimensions, and many things, all the things we can't see with our physical eyes, but we can feel them, and we know they're there.
So what do you incorporate in your readings when someone comes to you?
So it's very personalized, and I incorporate, of course, crystals and sound healing, some shamanic work, to do some really deep soul dive and, doing that deep healing. But I find that each client is different. Of course, we're all unique divine expressions, so everyone is requiring kind of a different experience to get that healing energy flowing. So everything always looks different with each person. Yeah. Very, very personalized. Yes.
You brought some things here that you use in your healing. There are sound instruments.
Yes.
And the feather.
Right, of course, purifying the room and opening sacred space, that's always a must before, I do any energy work or working in anyone's energy, and, also calling in, divine guidance and source to guide me. And I'm just the conduit for the energy. So, I just follow my guidance and beautiful things happen. And it
the
really
little
helps.
Purple crystals, what are they?
This one in front here?
I mean blue.
Yes, that's called Celestite.
Oh, it is Celestite.
Yes, and that's absolutely one of my favorites. I use it a lot. It's very connected to Angelic Realm.
Could you hold it up so
Sure,
they can see?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, this is a good piece.
That was partially the backside, so they weren't seeing as much of the beauty of it.
Big, beautiful.
So it looks to me like it's like a high vibrational.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And definitely connecting with that higher guidance. Mm-hmm. And it's very calming and peaceful too, I find. This is a great one to really set beside your bed. It's a great, one for sleep and rest and really getting yourself to that state of relaxation so your body can begin to heal, because that's really the goal.
The beginning.
Yeah, that's the beginning. You have to really drop into that relaxation place, and then your body naturally does that healing. Yeah.
And is that a little rattle?
It is. This is a beautiful gift from someone, and so I use this in session as well. This came from a reservation out in California, and it was a gift. So I love this. Love this beautiful tool. And then of course we have the chime, and that's really again it attunes.
Can the audience hear it?
Oh, of course, of course. So. Hopefully you can kind of hear the resonance, and really that just kind of gets...
Is that a specific note?
I'm not sure, but this one actually really just brings everything together for me, whatever this beautiful note is. And if everyone is familiar with their chakra system, that's your energetic system,
Yeah.
basically. And so the sound really brings those spinning vortex systems, it's 7 of them, into alignment.
Oh, nice.
And that they're all spinning the right way, and then you're open to receive the energy that wants to flow to you, which is source energy, available to all of us.
I love your
anytime.
Merkaba over there.
Thank you. I love working with
beautiful.
the Merkaba too, and that's actually called a golden healer. That's it's a quartz with iron, and it's a master healer, and that's one of the ones I work with quite a bit too. And I find that clients are very drawn to that. Usually I will lay out several things for them to choose, and then I work with things as I'm guided. But people always choose the Merkaba. It's a very powerful.
That sacred geometry shape is actually a cleanser.
Yes. I utilize sacred geometry as well.
Right.
Metatron's cube, the flower of life, the
Right.
Merkaba, they're all very powerful tools when it comes to, working with the energy.
But it's very interesting. You just look at the shape and just the energetically moving, that shape moving through your field and just busting the blockages.
Absolutely.
And just, it's,
It really works just like that.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And we have all these beautiful tools here, from Mother Earth, and
Yes.
that we can utilize. And I love this work. I really do.
So can you explain the rest of what you have on your table, including the design that's on the middle of the cloth that you have?
Sure. Actually, in the center here is the Merkaba, and also the Luna moth. I don't know if you're familiar with the Luna.
I'm not.
But it's a very special moth.
and it's very big.
Very big. They actually only live out of their chrysalis for 10 days, so they don't have a mouth, they don't eat. And so really the symbolism of the Luna is transformation. They spend a whole year in the chrysalis preparing for this beautiful, immersion
Right.
and coming out, and then they only live for 10 days. And specifically for me, at a time in my life when I was really going through big transition and starting to really understand what that means, the Luna moth came to me. And she stayed with me for the entire 10 days. I have pictures of her right there on the screen door. And, I just had this beautiful communion with her. And it was so lovely. So it really touched me.
Right.
So I find that I'm very connected to animals as well. I help people find their animal totems and connect them with their spirit animals, because I think that's so important. The animals are really here to support us and to really help guide us if we're willing to listen. So
Yeah, and we have animals that come to us for transitions.
Yes.
And temporarily, while we're going through something.
Absolutely.
They come to us, spirit animals.
Yes, it's a beautiful gift. Beautiful gift to connect with the animals. But thank you for asking about that, because that is very special to me. And this is one of the cloths that I use when I am doing my work.
The little thing there, is it a bell?
Yeah, this is just a little bell.
It's a bed,
So it sounds like that. And same thing, it really
It's like a temple
moves
bell.
energy. It really helps to break up any blockages. I find that it's relaxing for people, depending on how I use it at what point in the session. But very, very good response from that. And then, of course, the Tibetan symbols.
Yes.
We can hear those as well, because these are absolutely beautiful. But the key to these is not to do it too loud, because it can be kind of startling to our system if it is. But if you just do the gentle, it just feels so wonderful.
What's the little piece next to it? It looks like bone.
This is petrified wood,
Wood.
from Madagascar. So, and it's actually a tree branch. You guys see that? It's kind of polished on top and then rough around the
It
bottom.
looks like there's a stone
Wow.
inside that.
Yeah, it's
That's the tree itself.
yeah, it's the tree branch. Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
So this has really deep earth energy and sort of ancient knowledge. Is what I feel from this one. So this is one of the pieces I use quite often as well.
I've never seen a petrified one.
Quite like
Yeah, I
that,
think they
All
kind of
dressed up.
Yeah, they kind of get forgotten about, or maybe not as much spotlight as the big gemmy ones, but they're very powerful and very soothing. And
They look like a gemstone.
yeah, especially
When
when
they're
the
polished.
top is polished there,
Yeah.
so you can kind of see. I don't know if you can see from there, but Yeah, so I have a beautiful healing room over at Nature's the Rock shop in Tiverton. And most of these pieces actually, of course, came from the shop.
Yeah.
I started there in January.
It's very hard to work there.
Oh my gosh, I absolutely love it. And I learn quite a bit each day, new things each day. There's so much to learn. It's a lovely couple that owns it. And
But she's very lucky to have someone who knows a lot about crystals already. Usually she gets a newcomer and she has to,
Start from square one with
teach.
them. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
she is a wonderful teacher. So, a professor and a geologist. She has a lot of wonderful information to share. But yes, that's actually a really big part of working at the store is really connecting people and guiding people to what they're needing and helping them. Which intuition is our strongest guide, of course. But just understanding each thing and what it's for, kind of give that simple guidance to help people.
What is the blue-green? Is it turquoise?
This one here?
Yeah.
Oh, this is actually malachite with.
I wondered.
Yeah, malachite with chrysocolla.
Aha.
Yeah.
It's a mix.
And that one actually looks a little different than the malachite usually looks.
right.
As
Malachite
sort of
usually looks like a glass.
yeah, and kind of swirly, right? But this one with the bumps, it had sort of
Or
dragon
streaks
energy
through it.
to
Yeah,
me,
right.
Yes.
which I thought was very interesting.
I was thinking amphibian.
Yeah.
Dragon.
It's dragon energy, yeah, and that's a very, it's a transformation stone, which there are several of those, of course, again, with my theme here, transformation.
I'm hogging it.
No, you can hold it as long as you'd like. It's
Okay, so yeah, that's a good view of that though. What's this other crystal here that I haven't talked about yet?
this one here is also another blue one, and this is called Angelite.
That is Angelite.
This is Angelite.
I have a little about this high carved angel made of Angelite. And as soon as I saw it, I said, I have to have one.
Yes,
Yeah.
I connect with this very much.
That's nice.
And same thing, it's very connected to the higher dimensions and Angelic Realm, and beautiful guidance comes through, and meditating with that one. Did you want to see it closer? I didn't pass it down for everybody
Thank
to
you.
kind of feel that.
Now this is the Moonstone though, right?
This is
crystal-
actually Selenite.
Selenite, oh, okay.
Yeah, and Selenite is the cleanser and charger
Yeah.
of all the other crystals, right? So it's important to have this in any layout that you have, because it really keeps everything charged
Yeah.
and clean for you. And this one in particular, we were talking about it before the show started. It has sort of an eye. I don't know if the light will allow it to be seen, but this is very protective, very cleansing. So this is
The
usually.
camera's over this way, so you know.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that.
No, don't
We have
apologize.
3
I
different
just-
cameras.
And,
Wherever you see the red light, that's,
Yep.
Yeah, it definitely amplifies all the other crystals though too.
Thank you.
Now, how long did it take for you to get this set up? Did it take you, was it very quick though, or did it take over a few months?
Just to set this up now, or
No,
to get
like
the
to
pieces?
get the pieces for it.
I think I just collect things as I'm guided to them.
Okay.
And I find that a lot of things I collect end up going to other people too. I'm kind of
Yeah,
like
that happens sometimes,
the
yeah.
transfer
Yeah.
when I'm
Yeah.
guided to give it, or I feel someone needs it. So I'm always collecting pieces as I'm guided.
Okay.
That's when I used to make jewelry and candles. I said, I have to make this, but I don't know who it's for yet.
Yes, exactly. But you're following your guidance, and you know it's going to find the right person that needs it, and it will be very healing for them. That's beautiful.
Sometimes it's very quick, sometimes it might take months for that to happen, but it
Very
does,
true.
yeah.
Yes.
But it's just right when it does happen.
Yeah, absolutely, every time too.
Yep.
So how often do you use the sage stuff, the clearing energy?
So quite often, and I use it all the time, not just in session, at home, constantly. I find that just lighting some sage and doing sort of a beautiful ceremony of cleansing. And
Yeah, you have some Palo Santo in there also.
the sacred wood. So I find that I use it all the time, but definitely before I open sacred space, before I get into energy work, I definitely cleanse and do a protection for the room and for the people and myself.
Yeah.
So you work a lot with the indigenous energy though too, the indigenous tribes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm actually Cherokee.
Okay.
So definitely strong roots there, and I've always been felt those roots. And And I think that's where the shamanic kind of piece comes in. And I work with my partner Susan Hendricks, who is a shaman as well, and we own a company, 13 Moon Harmony, kind of.
13 what?
It's called 13 Moon Harmony.
Yes.
And it's a healing collaborative.
Right.
And so we're the co-owners together, but we have beautiful people that are working with us and are on the website as well.
It's
that we support, like Bonnie Blue, which you've had on the show before, and my daughter does some numerology work, and so we really just want to build that community out for energy workers to come together and support each other.
I saw a show the other night. It was a modern contemporary show, and one of the themes in it is that we're all in this together.
Yes.
And I
So true.
said to myself, never has a truer word been said. Everybody relies on everybody else, and we just don't know it yet.
Yes. And that's the truth, is that we're all one, and we're here really understanding that, as we go along. But we're all from the same source.
Yeah, and in the show, they had no idea why they were doing that, because I don't think they realized how spiritual the message was.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, the full understanding of it, yeah.
Yeah. It's a very
Everything we
profound
do
understanding.
affects everyone else.
Right. Right.
Absolutely. I believe that.
So if someone wants to get a reading from you, how would they get one?
So you can visit the website, 13moonharmony.com. All the information is there, and you can actually go and read about all the other practitioners as well, as I mentioned before. And you can book right online. You can book right on the website. You can actually pay even right on the website if you'd like.
Okay.
Right.
But you could also send an email, and then I can reach out to you, and we can schedule it that way. But there's several ways. You can visit me over at Nature's, the Rock Shop. I'm out front Monday through
You say that's-
Thursday.
You say that's in Tiverton.
It's in Tiverton, yeah.
Now, what part of Tiverton? I mean, you got the lake there, and
Right, it's right on Main Road. It's 1782 Main
Right in the
Road.
beginning
okay.
of
Right
Tiverton.
across from the beautiful harbor and
Yes.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
coffee shop
Roasters,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a beautiful location and a beautiful
Gray's
shop.
ice cream shop is.
That's further down.
That's
I
further
I
think.
haven't tried the ice cream yet, but it's a lovely spot.
Yes.
Lovely spot.
Yes.
Great energy there, and
Right.
I get to meet so many people,
Right.
so many beautiful people that come in, and that's a great opportunity for me to,
Right.
offer my services
Right,
too.
right.
And I also want to mention that we partner with Santosha Yoga and Wellness, and we're now Susan and I are the Reiki Masters for Care New England. So we provide discounted healing services for all the employees there. So when they have so much they're dealing with right now, especially. So we just wanted to offer that service to them, and so we were lucky enough to get in the partnership with Santosha, and they really. So we have a healing space over at Duncan Lodge on the Butler campus as well. So I can also see clients there. So, geographically we can figure out what's the best spot. But we do have both of those locations.
Right.
Okay, and those are regular fee-paying,
Services.
services.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, but offered at a discount to the employees for Care New England. Yeah, and their families actually.
Yeah, they support too. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'd like to pick up, you mentioned a couple times, like when we were talking before the show and whatnot, your connection with crystals, with your name being Crystal, and how you picked up on it so early in your life, understanding the frequencies that you were picking up. I don't know if anybody's mentioned it to you before. I find it very interesting that you have petrified wood.
That's an important one to me, and I feel very connected to that.
And your name is Birch.
Yes. And I've always been connected to the trees, specifically birch trees, and being in the forest. And
Right.
again, as a young child, that was the place where I could go.
Right.
That and near the water, because I grew up on a small island
Right?
in Virginia.
Oh, okay.
So surrounded by water, that's why Rhode Island feels very much like home to me. I feel very comfortable here. I've been here since January, full time. So I just.
And that the birch also produces two of the most powerful healing modalities.
Yes.
You have the polypore, birch polypore, which is a mushroom that you can make an extract from.
Yes.
And that's great for lymphatic systems, especially issues like breast cancer.
Beautiful.
And then you also have the chaga that grows towards the top of the trees, which is one of the best things that you can do for fortifying your skin.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
Thank
make
you for
teas,
sharing that.
yeah.
Yes, that's beautiful.
So I see so many connections with just your name
Right.
and the modalities that you're working with.
Yes, thank you. I've always felt that deep connection too. I would say my father named me well.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
He guided you
He really did. He really did.
from
And
the
so,
start.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for that. Very grateful for that. And very grateful to be here with you. And thank you for this beautiful platform that you have for us to share the work that we do. It really is wonderful.
I'm curious, you have a Moonstone bracelet. What is the other one?
I do. This one is moss agate.
Okay.
And I find that the moss agate is very grounding for me. I wear this one all the time. You know, a lot of people like the darker stones, you know, the tourmaline and the shungite or the onyx for their grounding and protection. I find that the moss agate, must be my connection to the forest, right, is the most grounding for me. It really has a great calming effect.
I have found of many of the stones that the moss agate helps with deep grief.
Oh, yes.
You know, the loss of a
Yes.
child, the sudden loss of a husband or
Yes.
wife. Deep grief.
I agree. It almost feels it just holds you. It holds you in this beautiful, calming, loving energy. And that's really what I love about it. Yeah, there's so many that I love. I say this all the time. They're all my favorite, really. I can't really choose one, but they all have such beautiful gifts and special gifts to share with us. Each one of them.
So how long have you been doing this work, and has it grown since?
Yes. So I started out really going to a Reiki practitioner for my own healing. After my accident, I had broken my neck, so it took me a lot of time to recover.
Sure.
I had to have a spinal fusion, and so I was really looking for alternative methods of healing because I'm very sensitive to medications and things like that, always have been. So I was, guided to this beautiful Reiki practitioner, and from then, that was, 2016.
Okay.
And so then I studied with her and ended up deciding that this was the path. I really felt guided that, it helped me so much in my own healing, physical healing, emotional healing, all of it, that I really wanted to share that with others. So, so I guess since, 2016, and it all started with my own journey for healing. And full time, as far as being a practitioner, I would say about 3.5 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, so fairly new. But it evolves.
Yeah.
Each client that I see, there's more beautiful guidance that comes through, and things that I learn. And like I always say, I heal right along with them. As the energy is flowing through me, it's also doing beautiful things for me. And
Yes.
That's one of the best
such a
things
beautiful
about being a Reiki
exchange.
practitioner is,
Yes.
you get blessed every time.
Every single time.
Right.
Every single time. So it's really a gift. It's a gift that I can share, but also that's always coming back to me, which I'm very grateful for.
Very good.
So you spoke about the shaman aspect. Has that always been an influence in your work?
Not so much. I really wasn't really introduced to that piece until about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
But it resonates so deeply with me because I've always had, that connection with my roots and sacred dance and, moving in the music and the drum. I've been drumming since I was 14 and I got my first shambé. And so I do that as well and I incorporate that. That was incredibly healing for me over my life. That was sort of what I went to, was drumming and being in nature and really connecting with the animals. And so that shamanic piece just clicked right in for me. And, I find that, when there's really difficult things, blockages or things that really need a lot of extra help to move, I feel like that's where that piece comes in. That's when, you call in the fire and you really are moving that energy in a, a very profound way
Yes.
with all of the elements. I feel like, it incorporates all the elements.
Sure,
the fire,
sure.
the water, the air, the earth.
It's part of the sound, the sound part. healing
Absolutely, it's the sound
that you
piece
do.
too. Yeah, yeah.
Right. And what I find very interesting, you're talking the different elements and whatnot, but what about higher vibrations? Like, do you draw on or ask for help or guidance from the Angelic Realm? Or
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for asking that.
Yeah.
I definitely call on the Angelic Realm, the archangels, in the 4 directions. Again, the animals as well, but I definitely work very closely with the archangels. Michael and Raphael.
Uriel.
And Uriel.
Right.
And, even Metatron and Sandalphon.
Metatron is so powerful.
So powerful. Yes, so important in this dimension.
Well,
this
it's
third
also,
dimension.
I mean, such a grounding force.
Yes. So much information. Within the Metatron's cube are the 5 platonic solids. So everything in existence actually comes to us through the Metatron's cube, which
Right.
I love. I love the
feel
science.
very, right, again, I feel very strongly grounded when I call on that energy.
Yes.
And I need that, because sometimes I'm just out there.
It's
We
very
all
easy
do.
to go up there. It's
We
very easy
all
to go up
do.
there, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for asking that.
Yeah.
Well,
All right, so people can
we've
get a
all
hold of you
flown
through your website.
previously.
Right.
So what's the name of the website again now to get a hold of you?
It's 13moonharmony.com,
Okay.
and that's our healing collaborative, and all the information is there. You can
Okay.
read about the practitioners, and again, book a session if you'd like, or
Well,
just
that
reach
sounds-
out.
That
if you-
sounds great. I'm looking forward to going home and just pulling it up, having a gander to,
Wonderful.
yeah.
Please do. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
If there was one message you would like to give the listeners that you would like for them to take away with them, what would you say? Because we're due to close
Okay.
in a few minutes.
Okay. So, the one message is that everything you need is within you. There is nothing that is outside of you that you need. It's all within. It's all about going within and really understanding who we are and connecting to our source. And that's where the healing happens. And again, we are just as healers, we're the conduit for that to happen, guiding everyone back to themselves, because that's where the magic is.
Right.
Connecting to your source and understanding who you are. So it's all within.
There was a story that they told about the people and a team of high guides, level guides. And they said, we don't know what to do. These people are so immature. And if we give them all the power and energy,
Right.
they'll waste it. So we must hide it. And they picked the best spot to hide it
Yes, they did.
within ourselves.
Right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
And it
That is
takes
the
a
truth.
while to find it.
Yes. Yes, that's the journey.
Yes.
Right? That's the
Well,
experience.
that's what, I mean, again, Rhode Island being such a strong Catholic state also, Christ's words, when he was asked, how do we go about finding heaven? He said, just look within.
Look within. That is the truth. That is the truth.
Yeah. And there was a lot of spirituality in this state.
Yes, that I'm very
Right.
grateful for. It doesn't exist everywhere, but I find that here in Rhode Island there's a lot of
Yeah.
support for this community, which I'm
Yeah.
really grateful for.
And it's still awakening and still growing.
At a rapid pace.
Sorry for my scratchy throat.
Faster and faster though too than we've seen in recent years,
Yes, it's speeding up.
Yeah, because there's been a few stores that just opened up recently that where I live. And never would have thought 5 years ago that they would even be there. Like, they sell candles and like certain different kinds of statues that crosses all belief systems.
Yeah.
All in one place. I'm like, oh, that's pretty amazing.
Yes.
So
And that's part of the understanding is that, the religion kind of tries to separate us, but,
Right.
spirituality is universal.
That's right.
And all of it comes together, and it's all the same thing. Just different words, different verbiage.
yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us. Hope you can join us again. And thank you for being our guest,
Yes, thank you so much for having
Crystal
me.
Birch. Thank you for being my co-hosts, Bill Hannon and Kathy Costa.
It's always an enjoyment to be here, though, too.